Welcome to the Ashenborne archive. This record is preserved. Begin.
Audio Codex Entry 21. Ser Vaelor, First Blade of Carpathian Manor. There are many monsters within Carpathian Manor. Scholars speak of crimson alchemists who rewrite flesh with blood. Hunters whisper of immortal nobles who have not seen a natural sunrise in centuries. Pilgrims swear the manor itself drinks the lives of those who enter its halls. Yet none inspire the same quiet dread as the towering knight who walks its corridors. Every horror within Carpathian Manor was born from ambition. Only one was born from devotion. Long before he became Ser Vaelor, First Blade of Carpathian Manor, he was simply another knight whose name was erased by history. The kingdom he served has vanished. Its banners have rotted into dust. Only one moment remains. A dying man collapsed before the manor's black iron gates. His armor was shattered, his lungs filled with blood. One arm barely clung to his body. Somehow, he had dragged himself farther than any mortal should. By every law of nature, he should have died there. Instead, the gates opened. Not for a king or a prince, but for a broken stranger. The Veiled Countess herself descended into the courtyard. Without explanation, she ordered the knight carried beneath the estate into chambers no outsider has ever described and survived. There she performed blood communion. Outsiders mistake it for vampirism, but the truth is older and stranger. Within Carpathian Manor, blood is not merely life. It is memory, lineage, authority, and power. The communion tears away mortal limitations before rebuilding the body around blood that no longer truly belongs to its host. Wounds close with unnatural speed. Age slows to almost nothing. Disease cannot root itself within veins rewritten by ancient blood science and forbidden ritual. But every gift demands payment. Those who undergo communion never belong to themselves again. Their blood forever answers the house that created it. When the night awoke, the man who had crawled through the snow was gone. She named him Ser Vaelor. From that night onward, he became the first blade of Carpathian Manor. The broken armor in which he arrived was dismantled and remade within the communion itself. Blood, obsidian ash, silver, and impossible alchemical compounds fused into every plate until the steel became something alive. It emerged a deep maroon polished like dark crimson glass. Beneath its surface drift thin black veins, as though blood still circulates inside the armor. Damaged plates slowly knit themselves together, remembering the shape they once held. Some whisper the armor no longer protects Vaelor, it recognizes him. His weapon is equally austere, a massive two-handed longsword with a broad crimson blade etched only with the sigil of the Countess's bloodline. Centuries of executions and wars have steeped the weapon in the manor's blood magic until many believe it has become a living relic answering only its master. Where diplomacy failed, Vaelor marched. Where rival houses questioned the supremacy of Carpathian Manor, Vaelor answered. Entire bloodlines vanished after insulting the Countess. Ancient fortresses fell because she quietly deemed them inconvenient. He never fought with rage. He advanced with dreadful patience, every strike calculated before the blade fell. Witnesses claimed battles felt less like war than executions whose verdicts had already been decided. Yet fear alone does not define Ser Vaelor. His greatest weakness has always been the woman who saved him. To call his feelings love scarcely describes what they became. It is obsession elevated into worship. The Veiled Countess is no longer merely his sovereign. She is the axis upon which his existence turns. A single word of praise sustains him for decades. A disappointed glance torments him more deeply than any wound. He memorizes the cadence of her voice, the rhythm of her footsteps, and every subtle gesture hidden beneath her veil. He requires no command to defend her honor. He invents reasons himself. Cities have burned because Vaelor believed someone had shown her insufficient respect. Noble families have disappeared because a careless insult reached his ears. Whether the Veiled Countess shares those feelings remains unknown. She has never spoken of love. Sometimes she summons Vaelor only to stand beside her in silence while she studies the genealogies of forgotten noble houses. Whenever she calls, he comes. Immediately, without question. Many dream of immortality. Carpathian Manor teaches a different lesson. Immortality is not freedom. It is permanence. Ser Vaelor survived the battlefield that should have claimed him, but in doing so, surrendered something greater than his mortality. He surrendered the right to belong to himself. Somewhere within the endless crimson halls of Carpathian Manor, the first blade still stands watch beside the woman who transformed a dying knight into an undying servant, bound forever not by chains, but by a love that has outlived kingdoms. The world of Ashenreach also exists as a physical trading card game through collectible Ashenborne archive relic cards and booster packs. The archivist has authorized a restricted offering for listeners of the Codex. For a limited time, listeners may receive an additional sealed booster pack through the sigil phrase Codex. To claim the offering, add 2 single booster packs to your cart at ashenbornearchive.com. Then enter the phrase Codex at checkout. Ordering instructions and all archive links may be found within the show notes. The excavation continues. The archive's presence endures across the outer channels. Seek the social archives listed in the show notes for visual lore fragments, trading card offerings, and continued dispatches from Ashenreach. Follow if you would continue to travel the realm of the Ashenborne Knight, or remain on the outskirts of Ashenreach and be forgotten by the archive.